Hey there, tech fans. Rick here again with another gadget that I think you're going to really like. It's a set of Bluetooth wireless earbuds from our friends over at Jabee's called the Firefly that provide incredibly good sound and include all of the high-tech leading-edge features you're looking for in a set of earbuds. And the best part is, they cost less than $60. Now, in the spirit of full disclosure, the company did send me these earbuds for review, but they only did that after I went on a hunt a few months back because I'd lost my other earbuds and I wanted to replace them, but I was looking for a set that sounded really good but weren't terribly expensive. So I searched and found 4 or 5 different brands. I tested them all. I fell in love with these and I contacted the company and said, hey, you guys built some really cool products. Would you mind if I reviewed them on the channel? And they were excited and said, sure, we'll send you a pair and you can review those on the channel. So I promise you this won't impact my opinion of the products. I've been using them for a few months. And I just love them. I love the price and I love the functionality. And to prove that, I'm not even going to keep the pair that they sent me. So down below, you'll find a link. We're giving these away. Just enter the contest at that link. In 7 days, we're going to pick a winner and we'll send those to you free of charge. No shipping, no shenanigans anywhere in the world. So I'm going to do the review. And the way I'd like to do this clip is to start off with an unboxing because they pack a ton of technology into the earbuds themselves, but they also give you a tremendous amount of accessories and instruction manuals and all the things you'll need to use them. So I want to show you what comes with the kit. And then I'll come back and point out some of the key features that really separate these Firefly earbuds from all the other earbuds on the market, and more importantly, all the less expensive earbuds on the market, because I'm still confounded on how they build this much technology into something that small to give me that rich a sound and charge me less than $60 for it. So I'm really impressed with that. So stay tuned and I'll do the unboxing next, and then I'll come back and point out all the features you need to know about to understand why these are such a special set of earbuds. Inside the package for the Jabee Firefly earbuds, you'll find a smaller box that includes all the accessories and instruction manuals, as well as the charging case with the earbuds inside ready to charge. Inside the accessory box, you'll find a selection of different tips that you can use to adjust the earbuds to fit your ears comfortably, as well as 2 sets of sport clips that will hold those earbuds in your ears when you're working out. There's also a charging cable included that has a USB-C connection on one end that connects up to the charging case. The other end is a USB-A that can be used with any charger. And there's a wide selection of manuals included as well. This is a warranty card that explains the warranty for the unit in case you have questions or problems down the road. There's a quick reference guide that'll show you exactly how to use the unit, how to charge it, and what the indicators mean. There's another manual that shows you how to connect it over Bluetooth. Very simple, straightforward procedure. There's also tips included to show you how to use the sport hooks here to attach them to the actual earbuds and use them when you're jogging or working out. You can also turn off the LEDs. There's an instruction manual to show you how to do that. And if you want to download a digital version of the manual, you can scan any one of these QR codes here and actually scan it and bring it down to your phone that you can read it at your leisure. There's also a description here of some of the feature sets that come with the product and explains exactly what this product can do for you. As with most earbuds, there is a specific left unit and a right unit, and that's important to make sure you get them in the right ears for the proper fit. It also determines what the multifunction button on the other side controls. With the left unit, it's used to instigate connection for your voice assistant for both Google and Apple. It also controls volume down, as well as power saving mode or wake up, play and pause your music, or answer and reject your call by tapping that button. On the right unit, you're controlling whether you're in ambient sound mode, or if you're turning the volume up, or if you want to transfer a call, language selection, and factory reset. Just by tapping or holding those buttons, you can control all those functions through one single button on both of the earbuds. Now that you know what comes with the product, I'll give you all the nerdy details you'll need to understand exactly what separates these Firefly earbuds from the other products on the market. Because there are so many companies that produce earbuds like this that it can get really confusing. And if you do a simple internet search on earbuds, you're going to find hundreds of products out there. And in a lot of cases, they look exactly the same. So it can be tricky to separate one product from another and understand the value between them. So what I'm going to give you are features and specifications you can use to compare one product against another and understand what the best value is. And I think Jabee's has done a wonderful job of packing all the high-end features I care about into the set of Firefly earbuds that you typically only find on the really high-end expensive earbuds. I still can't get past the fact that they're less than $60. So let's get into some of the things you should watch for. The first has to do with charging. The unit comes with a case that they actually sit in to protect them when you're traveling, and it has a battery internally so you can charge them in the case. Now initially when you drop them in the case, they'll turn on, they're magnetically attached to the case, and they immediately start charging. And if you leave them in the case for 10 minutes, you're going to get 2 hours of additional use out of them. If they're in the case for 30 minutes, you're going to get 4 hours of use out of them. So in the morning, I charge up the case, which charges the internal battery and the earbuds, and I get 4 hours of use out of them. Now, if I'm doing a lot of conference calls or listening to music late in the afternoon, maybe I've got to drop them back in the case and charge them again. A couple of things I like. The first is when I drop it back in the case, they turn off and start charging. I don't have to worry about finding a button on there to turn them on, turn them off. A lot of the other products I looked at had tiny little buttons I had to turn them off. They turn off immediately. When I pull them out of the case, they turn on and immediately make the Bluetooth connection of whatever device I was using last. So they're really simple to use and they're really effective. The units themselves are also waterproof to an IPX5 standard, which means you don't have to worry if you're using these out when you're jogging and it starts raining or use them during workout routines. An IPX5 rating means you can actually hit these with a garden hose for a couple of minutes and they'll still survive that event. A lot of the other products out there won't actually do that. They talk about being water resistant, which is really a marketing term, and you can't get them wet for any length of time and you're going to damage them. So I like the fact that these are incredibly durable. To charge these units, there's a USB-C connection at the top of the case up here. A lot of the other products on the market use the older standards like micro USB, and I know it's a small point, but having a USB-C connection on there means this is future-proof because that standard's going forward. I'll be able to charge this on all my future charging solutions for years to come, and they even include a short USB-A to USB-C connection, which means you can plug the USB-C in here, plug the USB-A into any wall charger, car charger, battery bank, your computer, anything that's got a standard USB connection on it, and charge them up. So make it really easy to charge, and I love the fact that it's a USB-C connection. There's also a button on the top. If you hit that button, it'll bring up these LEDs across the top. There are 4 LEDs. Each of those LEDs represents 25% of battery capacity left in the unit. So when you charge it up in the morning, all 4 will be lit. If you throw them in there a couple of times to charge them up, obviously it'll use some of the power that's in the battery bank, but you can always check to see where you're at. So really nice little setup. I also like the case. They built this to be kind of unique. It's a bit of an oblong case. It's got a rubber coating on the outside, so really good for gripping. A lot of the other ones were just plastic, and you drop them and you'll crack the plastic on the end. So I like the fact that they've got rubber on the outside. The next thing you should be really aware of is the connection standard between the earbuds and your device, because a lot of them out there talk about the latest Bluetooth standard, or they're Bluetooth compatible or Bluetooth compliant. You want to make sure that you get the latest Bluetooth standard, which is Bluetooth 5.0. These are Bluetooth 5.0 compliant. The reason that's important is a couple of things. Number one, Bluetooth 5.0 is a really high efficiency standard for Bluetooth. It uses less power than the older styles, and even though they work okay, they're drinking more power from the internal batteries on the earbuds, which means you've got to charge them more often. So Bluetooth 5 is the most frugal, if you will, use of that power. The second thing is Bluetooth 5.0 gives you an incredibly strong signal up to 10 meters away, about 33 feet, so you can walk pretty far away from your phone and still have a rock-solid connection. It also guarantees the lowest latency of connection. And latency is the music's playing over there. By the time it gets to you, how much of a delay has been introduced to come across that distance over Bluetooth. Bluetooth 5.0 is almost zero latency, and that's super important because each of the earbuds are going to connect up together, and you don't want to have even the tiniest bit of difference between them because you can sense that. Even though you can't hear it, you can sense that physically, and it can cause issues for you. So the Bluetooth 5.0 standard, latest standard, USB-C is the latest standard, all that is wonderful stuff. Some of the leading edge features this has that you won't find in a lot of the other products include things like ambient sound, which means a lot of these, you put them in your ears, and when the music's playing, it blocks out the rest of the world, which is kind of a good thing, but maybe it's not when you're walking down the street, right? You want to have some of that ambient sound around you get through, so if somebody's talking to you, or you're going to step into the street and somebody says, hey, watch out, you'll stop. These you can turn in ambient sound mode, so if you're around other people and you want to sort of hear stuff from the outside, you can turn that on. Another thing that's really, really critical, this is impossible for me to show you here because it has to do with the sound of the product. A lot of these talk about having very rich bass, really crisp high ends, and how do you know that, right? What it comes down to is inside those earbuds, you've got tiny little speakers. And for speakers to work properly, they've got to have something to ricochet that sound off of, something to move the air off of. Now, that substrate, the part that those speakers, those miniature drivers are mounted on, is typically steel, or in the less expensive ones, plastic. And you won't know that because you're not going to take the thing apart and look inside. So plastic is not good because it vibrates a lot. So when the speaker tries to throw that sound out, it's actually vibrating the plastic. So you're not getting all the speaker quality and audio frequencies that you would get. The bandwidth isn't as big. So with steel, it's better because it's got a nice rigid back end. But this one uses graphene. Now, if you don't know what graphene is, I'm a bit of a nerd, but it's an incredibly cool material. It's a space age material. You're going to hear about this for the next 20 years, but graphene is basically a nanotechnology which is stronger than steel. It's a single atom wide. It builds this matrix of a surface that is stronger than steel and gives it incredibly good bass to ricochet that sound off of. Curiously, graphene is also highly conductive, so it's great for all kinds of other technologies. It's also thermally conductive, which means as those speakers heat up, it's going to dissipate that heat outside, which is one thing that'll kill speakers. So they've done a wonderful job of building in not just steel substrate, but graphene substrate, which again is something you're going to hear a lot about on the higher end earbuds that are on the market today. So I think they've really done their homework on this technology and built all this stuff in there. In addition to that, I just think they produce a wonderful sound because the ones I've tested typically have issues with bass, where you get really good high end, that's easy to produce, but the bass in the mid-range is really difficult to produce. I think the combination of the drivers they're using and the graphene substrate really gives this a tremendously good bass response, which is something I care an awful lot about. One last thing I'll say, which I think is different than a lot of the ones I've tested, is typically when you're using this and you're using it with your phone, you'll get mono. You'll get one of them working with your phone. And if you've got a good ear, you can put it in that good ear. Here you're going to get stereo transmission from your phone when you're talking on calls and stuff, which is something I like an awful lot because it gives me a better understanding. I can hear more of what's going on with the meeting by having both ears engaged in that conversation. So all those things together make this an incredibly cool product. And again, I've tested half a dozen of these since I broke my other set, and I love these. I really, really love these products. So again, $60 or less. I've got links below if you want to go check them out. I think they're running a special over the holidays, but down below is the link if you want to go see what they're about. And we really appreciate you guys watching this channel. I hope you found this review helpful in this product. Again, I'm doing a lot more of these reviews around technology outside of what we normally review because I just love technology. And if I'm using something and I think it's cool and I think other people will really like it, I'll talk about it. So if you have any questions about anything I've covered today, drop them in the comments below. If you're a high school student or a college student and you need to write a book report, get on Wikipedia and figure out what graphene's about because, man, I'm telling you, that is incredibly cool technology. Anyway, that's pretty much it for today. Thanks an awful lot for watching, and until next time, stay nerdy.